handful of women, some a similar age to me, have been leaving very little to the imagination recently. First of all, of course, there was Liz Hurley's naked photo shoot for her 60th birthday. Then we had 52-year-old Gwyneth Paltrow cooking breakfast for her boyfriend, topless. Do not try that at home. Spitting fat and naked bosoms, terrible combination. But the latest of all is 67-year-old Sharon Stone, who is posing in a totally sheer, absolutely see-through top for Vogue. So do you think this is good? Good on them. We should be praising these women for bearing all and embracing their bodies at whatever vintage. Maybe you find it really inspiring. Or would you rather they just kept their kit on? I must tell you, on Friday afternoon, finished this show, a delightful producer came running after me. She said, Vanessa, just want to ask you something for Monday's show. We're thinking of talking about, women of a certain maturity, naked. Are you happy to pose naked on the show?
Oh, now, wow.
My reply, I don't think I can really reprise for your edification here because the language wasn't suitable. But I mean, the crux of what I said was, what has the poor viewer done to deserve that? I've got nothing against it. The last thing they need over their lunch is to look at me in the nude, for God's sakes. I said, absolutely not. No, I would not dream of it. But Francine, is it a liberating thing to do?
It definitely is a liberating thing to do. And I really get annoyed when people think when you get to a certain age, you should keep your clothes on. Like, no, if I want to wear my bikini till I'm 80, I will do it. It's all about your confidence.
God, here you are in your bikini. If I look like that in mine, I'd do it too.
Like that.
That's a lovely picture.
I just feel at the end, I look at women. Look at Madda Holden on her 50s. She came out of a cake, didn't she, naked, I think half naked. And she looks amazing.
Slim and amazing looking.
But even if you're not and you just feel confident about yourself, that in itself is amazing. Well, as the pricey says, I'll be getting my kit off till any age. I don't care because I love it.
On the other hand, I couldn't love Katie Price more and everything and respect her in many, many ways. But it's such a shame, I think, that she's had such a lot of surgery and so many operations, isn't it?
It really is. She was such a naturally beautiful girl. I knew her when she didn't have all that surgically enhanced, bosoms and everything else. But she has done so many things to herself that she really didn't need, and it's so sad to watch. But I do think these women, Liz Hurley looks stunning, and I don't think there's anything wrong in cooking naked. As long as you've got something around the bottom, who cares?
And she's definitely not cooking with fat, I tell you that. Right?
She really isn't.
Quinoa and avocado.
Ladies, get it out if you want to get it out.
What do you think, Georgie?
So I'm a woman of a certain age. I'm into my 40s now, and I'm sort of staring down the barrel of, getting older and the face falling down and all of these sort of things. And I can sort of pushing the tide away. And there's a couple of thoughts that come to me. Is one, I am so grateful for things like Kim Cattrall and Sex and the City that made 40s, 50s, 60s sexy. When I was young, 40s, over the hill, done frumpy. Not anymore. Absolutely not anymore. And I think that's fantastic. I'm not really sure that you need to get your kit off, but if you want to, that's fine. Because the greatest thing I'm finding as I age is not that I look better naked. I think I probably do because my eyesight's going. But be that as it may, is my confidence. Is I feel so much more experienced, so much more confident, so much more intelligent, so much, all the things that have got nothing to do with the way I look. And actually, I'd rather see women, in their 50s and 60s going, ladies in your 20s, it gets better.
Exactly.
It gets
That's what we want to
Not
hear.
because you get your clothes off, but because it does get better. And this emphasis that still, it's on the way you look when you're older. And that's the kind of be-all and the end-all. Don't make any mistakes that Liz Hurley, Gwyneth Paltrow, all these people, Pamela Anderson don't spend a ton of money. They may not be wearing makeup, or they may be, but they spend so much money on beauty products and personal trainers and da-da-da-da.
All right. We've been dying to know what Marvyn thinks about all these naked women all over the place.
So I love the idea of it, and I think it's great that we've progressed into actually having platforms where, as an older woman, you can be naked. I'm specifically a bit exhausted by the sheer amount of nakedness in society now, to the point I don't think it has any value. I remember a time where just seeing implied nudity was almost like, wow, did you see the thing? And now it's just on my Instagram all day from every single source. So I think actually by being a bit more conservative, you show up in a different way and you stand out and actually keep people guessing a little bit longer. But I think personally, a great idea. I do feel just this, the way that we kind of bin people, specifically women, we've been women at a particular age and they just disappear. And you're like, where are these women that I used to have a crush on? Now everybody's 20 years old and someone's like, what do you think of this singer? I'm like, they're like 20 years old. It's none of my business. I'm a grown-up man. And so where are the women? And I would love to see more representations, but with just slightly more clothes on, allow my imagination to do the unraveling.
And is it a dignity thing? Is there something undignified about just kind of saying, look, it's all here for you to see. You know, I don't know you. You're total strangers. Look at every single millimetre of my body. Da-da. I mean, is that a little undignified at a certain age or not? Or don't we care about dignity anymore?
I don't think age has anything to do with it. I think it's, again, it goes down to how you do it. If you're, you know, I don't know, belts and whistles or whatever, you know, then maybe it's not quite so dignified. But actually some of those photos you've just said there on the front cover of Vogue, it's going to be shot by the best photographers. You know, I think the mores of the age have changed, definitely.
Didn't Andrew Tate, he had something to say, I think, about Amanda Holden and a few celebrities who were older and they you know, didn't have many clothes on. And I thought that was a terrible thing to say.
Well,
just because you're older.
And disrespectful, of
But
course.
why should you feel, because have a fear of getting older, oh, I can never wear this and I can never wear that. If you feel confident, look at Doreen from Birds of a Feather all those years ago. She wore what she wanted, even if she was called Mutton Dress.
That's the beautiful Leslie Joseph.
Yes, exactly.
She's fabulous.
And I think we should feel, as if you feel confident, then let it out.
I'll tell you one thing I cannot bear are those kind of prescriptive kind of rules in inverted commas about what older women should and should not wear. You know, no leather trousers, no mini skirts. Always cover your arms, cover your this, cover your that. You know, that I think is really insulting and so completely restrictive and unpleasant. And also, who wants to dress like a bit of old mutton anyway? I'd rather dress like a lamb, even if I'm not a lamb. That's what I think. Anyway, let's go to Bree in West Yorkshire. What do you think about all these naked celebs? Do you think it's inspirational? Does it make you feel a little bit kind of unconfident yourself, Bree?
I just think that if you're confident, I agree with what Francine said, if you're confident and you look good, just, wear what you like. I mean, I'm the same age as you, I think, Vanessa, and I'm quite in good nick for my age, but I don't think I'd doff off, and I think people walking on the street, your ordinary woman wouldn't do it really, unless they're full of confidence. But all these celebrities who do doff off, they've had a lot of work done, they've got money. Liz Hurley looks great, absolutely, but she's, you know, she looks after herself. It's like Amanda Holden. She's had a hell of a lot of work done.
Well, we don't know. We don't know what work she's had done. Amanda Holden is an incredibly gorgeous looking girl. But have you seen her mum? Her mum is stunning, and I'm prepared to believe in that family it's the genes, because her mother is tall, she's a willow slim, she's very, very pretty, got beautiful cheekbones, and so's Amanda. Both Amanda's daughters are beautiful. I'm prepared to believe that no work's been done, aren't you?
Yeah.
Some people are just genetically blessed, Bree, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, yeah, they're all nice-looking women, but they enhance it. She's older, she's got lips, Botox, they can afford the face peels, and the works, which I suppose I'd have done myself if I could afford it. I've had a couple of bits, but not to that extent.
What have you had done? What have you done, Bree? What have you had done? We can't see you anyway, but what have you had done?
No, I've had a little bit of Botox above my eyes, you know, for the frown line.
Yeah.
But I look at myself in the mirror and I find myself sort of thinking, oh, you know, my hair's gone a little bit thin when I went through menopause and, you know, and then I look back at pictures and I think, God, I look really good when I was young, but you're insecure when you're young, aren't you? I'm more confident now, I think, but I still would like to look as good as I can, but not go mental, especially with the lips and stuff.
What about those celebrating your next birthday with a nude shoot? Would you?
Well, I'll be 64 in January, and I think for my age, no one thinks, you know, I think I do look okay, but I would like to be able to afford a little bit more. I thought about having my teeth whitened again and bits and bats, but I don't know if I'd go for a nude shoot, really. No, I don't know.
Especially
My
as
balls
we,
don't
as we
work.
think it's Liz Hurley's son, Damon, who takes the pictures, which is a bit...
Which I think there's nothing wrong with that, but there you go.
Well, have pictures of your mum in the nude, taken
Yeah.
by your son.
No, I don't think. I honestly don't. As I said, all my bikini pictures my son takes of me. He's brilliant. I take him everywhere with me because he just is brilliant at taking photographs and getting the right shot. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Take the
personally.
rubbish out is fine. I think go and take the washing in from the line is fine. I think take a naked picture of your mother. I'm not sure about
Times
that.
have changed.
But you know, maybe I'm a bit odd. Maybe I am. I mean, I
How
do.
old is he, by the way?
He's 19.
Right.
So
you don't feel that you might have blighted his whole life by doing that. No.
I
Trigger
walk
warning.
around sometimes. Yeah, I know. I walk around, so I forget that I haven't got any.
Yeah.
It's just how us as a family are. Maybe the way I am. I mean, we're all different, aren't we? And that's just me, and I'm honest about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he doesn't ever say, "Oh, Mum, get someone else to do it."
No, never. He's quite happy to do it, and so I think it's lovely that Damien takes pictures of his mum, and he takes amazing pictures of her.
I mean, it's a beautiful picture, no question about
stunning.
that. Judith on Facebook says, I would happily do it. I would pose in the nude. I'm 71. I'm not in too bad shape. I'm not happy with my tummy, but I can hide that. Absolutely. You do that pose that Liz Hurley did with your knees up. You don't have to show your tummy at all. Just one compliment would go a long way, she says, in rebuilding my self-confidence. Oh, gosh, well, maybe you should do it then. Annie on Facebook says, as a woman of senior years, I find it sad and somewhat pathetic that females of any age feel the need to strip off just to get noticed. I'm tired of seeing barely dressed women dominating the media while being told they look stunning.
Well, that was a very interesting comment to get noticed. And I think the problem is, as we get older, a lot of women do feel unnoticed, like
invisible.
Like people feel like we're going to walk in.
Yes.
My biggest fear was always, and this sounds terrible, but getting older and walking in a room and nobody turning around.
Oh, that's not going to happen to you.
But you do. You feel that way.
Just burst in as Barbara Streisand. Let's go to Winifred. I'm desperate to talk to Winifred. Winifred is in her late 80s. She's in London. Winifred, thanks so much for ringing. What do you think of this?
Well, I think if you've got a nice figure, you should show it off. Not that I would at my age. But I've always been proud of, my age, what my figure is like. What I kept it in good shape.
Uh-huh. And tell me your idea of a fabulous outfit to wear, Winifred, that really makes you feel you're looking your very best.
Well, I don't go out a lot because, I'm on my own and a widow.
Uh-huh.
But, I'd like a nice... I don't know why there's fashion now, the dresses are so long, because I'm only 5'3".
Yeah.
And I don't know why they made the dresses so long nowadays.
Good question. I
I'd
don't
like
know
a
either.
nice
You're
dress
quite
if I
right.
went
I'm always
out,
having mine shortened. She's right,
Yeah,
absolutely
I'm
right.
smaller.
Winifred, it's lovely to hear from you, and I'm glad you've got this confidence and you're a fine figure of a woman, and it's a real pleasure chatting to you on the show. Thank you so much, everybody, for your calls.